Hey, welcome to Life in the Leadership Lane. I'm your host, Bruce Waller, where I get to speak to leaders who are making a difference in the workplace and in our communities. What did they do to get started? And what are they doing to stay there? And oh my goodness, we have come to the end of 2025. And today, man, I'm bringing you an incredible guest that I got to meet recently. I'm speaking with Gerard Hudspeth. He also goes by Mayor Hudspeth because he is the mayor in Denton, Texas. And he's also a business leader at Freeit Data Solutions. And I'm so excited to have you on the show. How you doing, Gerard?
Good morning. Very well. Thank you for having me. Honored to be here. Looking forward to the discussion, and I've enjoyed your other shows, and so
Oh,
it's great to be here.
oh, good. Okay, so I always like to go to just reflect whenever I start my podcast. I like to reflect on like when I met my guests. Some of my guests I hadn't met until I actually got them on the show. But for you, I want to go back to the North Texas SHRM Gala Awards dinner. And we got a chance to induct new officers, give some awards out for the North Texas SHRM chapter. And you were at my table and we got a chance to visit. What'd you think about that event?
What an amazing group of professionals doing amazing work in the HR space. And so for me, it was just educational to learn more about what the organization does, who makes up the organization, and then the gala was really a great celebration of those that stood out amongst their peers and being recognized amongst their peers. So I really enjoyed it.
I love it too. I'm part of the Texas SHRM State Council, and I get an opportunity to visit with all of our chapters. But I live in Denton County, and I have been participating or attending these North Texas SHRM meetings, golly, since close to 2008. And they just do a great job of bringing people together. And I just love that. It was a great night. We got to sit by one of the award winners. Her name was Kate Martin. She sat by me. I think I saw you get a picture with her. And then the great Dwayne Clark. And then, of course, Shirley Kruger is fantastic. And then the new president, Susan Wood. So I was excited to see you in the room. And it just made the night just that much more special. And so I really appreciate you being there. Hey, I mentioned that you also are with Freeit Data Solutions. So not only do you serve as a mayor, but also you have another job. I was just, for those who are listening and haven't heard of Freeit Data Solutions, share just a brief highlight on how you serve your customers.
Sure. Yeah, I appreciate them being open to me serving as mayor and helping me along that way. I don't get paid as well. I get a stipend, but other than that, it doesn't pay the bills. So Freeit steps up and allows me to serve. Freeit is it's a veteran-owned company based in
Hmm.
Austin. I work remote here in the North Texas area, kind of Waco North is the territory I cover, and so it's we're a reseller. So we're value-added reseller in the IT space. All that to say storage, cybersecurity, anything people are trying to acquire, we then facilitate. We sit in the middle and help them get the best of what they need and make sure when they plug it in, it works.
Security is becoming more and more important these days, isn't it?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, if I didn't know better, I would have sworn I just saw a video with Mr. Rogers and Tupac talking together.
Oh my goodness. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
You know what? I was doing some research before we got on, and I saw also where Shaq got his car stolen, and you had posted on there, "Hey man, security, you better make sure you got it."
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, it's something else.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you, and I'll put a link to your organization in the show notes, so anybody who's listening can certainly check that out. Hey, I want to get into the Gerard or Mayor Hudspeth story. I'm going to call you
Yes.
Mayor Hudspeth.
Sure.
Hey, share a little, just kind of a brief highlight. Where did you grow up, and what led you to leadership in the city of Denton? I'm curious.
Born and raised here in Denton.
No.
We if born at Flow Hospital. Those in the area know the Flow babies of the world. We stick together. So born here. My dad's always been kind of an activist here in the city of Denton,
Hmm.
and even when he grew up in Fort Worth, he was active that way. And so for me, it was just kind of natural to be plugged in. aware of what's going on in the community and be have a voice in those discussions. And so I grew up that way. And then he served on the school board. So when I was in high school, my dad was on the school board for one term, ran again, but was unsuccessful in that election. But so served one 4-year term. My mom's been in education the entire time and worked her way up. And so just kind of understanding those challenges and what they went through and being active in the community led me to kind of want to do the same and led me to kind of rotate in circles, ultimately getting in politics because someone said, "Hey, I think you'd be good at this," right? And
Mm.
how many times does that happen? You're working amongst different people and they say, "I notice a skill set in you that you may not understand or realize." And you
Mm.
should be, you should kind of take that and run with it. And so that's what happened to me. And so we've ran a couple of times before and lost. 2016, we won. I recommend that. It's better. So 2017, we started serving as a single member district council member in 2017.
I want to, man, there's a lot here. There's a lot here. First of all, isn't it just a blessing to have a mom and dad show you the way?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
I,
no, it's fantastic.
yeah, I love that because they were models for you and you were able to see that. I had the same thing. It's incredible. And also to be surrounded by people who just breathe encouragement into you you said someone said, I think you would be good at that.
Hmm.
Like being surrounded by great people. But I want to touch on something real quick before we get into some of that. And that is you mentioned, hey, we lost, we ran again and we won. I want to talk about like that perseverance. Like, first of all, failure's tough. Tell me what was that like going through that failure, that I call it that valley. What was that like? And then what pushed you to do it again?
So we'll start at the end and say, I heard a sermon and I stand on this regularly. I tell the kids at elementary school, middle school, high school, the bumps in life are what you climb on, right? And so
Mm,
you need that. It's that rock climber's mindset of that next thing, that next impediment. I'm going to step on it and elevate myself. And
mm,
so, what that's like is the best way I can explain it, and I explain it to people. When we first ran and lost, it's like going through a semester of school and not getting one daily grade, not one test grade, nothing. Until the end of the semester, all grades are closed out. You've turned in all the work, and then at the end that night you get your test results or you get your semester results you don't get any warning and it's pass fail test. And so
uh,
it was earth shattering to
uh,
sit there with a house full of people saying how great we did and lose by whatever 80 points. It was
uh,
bad. And so, but it just kind of to your point, it was like, okay, got it. Learned
mm,
some stuff that time. Let's go back at it again and learned that second race. It was critical that we got in late, and I learned from
mm,
that when we lost. It's like you got to go get in early to start getting the support you need to let people know you're running. And so learn that's a lesson learned from that second time. But each time, just kind of I'm a process guy, and
mm,
so just kind of processing through that to understand how we could get better from the first time, second time, and then third time. We kind of put all those things
mm.
together in place and implemented, and we were successful.
Man, that's a great story. I love that. The bumps help you climb up, and I
Yes.
love that. And by the way, if you're listening right now, you need to get your pen out. You need to get your journal out. Take some notes here. Man, this is the gold, and I just love that. Hey, you mentioned earlier, someone said, "Hey, I think you'll be good at this."
Mhm.
Talk about, I don't know, you don't have to share their names. You can if you want, but talk about some of the people you've been surrounded by. Like I like to talk about mentors and sponsors. Like I feel like leaders have a common thread and they have great people around them that have helped them get to where they are today. Of course, you mentioned your mom and dad. Talk about a couple of mentors and maybe some of the traits that made them such a great mentor for you.
I would say a big part of what shapes me today was my time at church in South Dallas. IBOC is the acronym,
Hmm.
Inspired Body of Christ Church. And so there we had a men's fellowship group, and just the men's ushers, there were 300 of us.
Okay.
We met every Friday. And just that. outpouring, that fellowship, that understanding, we're all processing through the same thing. We're all challenged with the same things, and having a dynamic leader, Pastor Rush is his name, and he kind of would steward those conversations, and just kind of the raw, unfiltered truth that came out in those meetings just really had a huge impact on me. And just, the Bible says iron sharpens iron. It couldn't
Mm,
be more true. And no matter where you are, I've gone to a number of different men's fellowship groups since. And I think it's just, there's value in knowing we're all struggling together in different ways. If you got, I have a teenager, so if you're struggling parenting wise, it's good to be around other parents that are open and honest, saying, hey, yeah, this is a tough challenge. Here's how we satisfy that. Here's how we fix this, or here's how we just hang on for dear life through these things. So that really, to me, that time with those brothers, probably over 3, 4 years of
mm.
every Friday coming together and just pouring into each other, and having a lesson, really had a huge impact on me as far as being able to process through the challenges that come with being in politics.
I love that. You've had a community that has helped you get to where you are. I love all that. I got chills when you said there's value in knowing the struggling points that other people are going through those as well.
Yes.
And I talk about iron sharpens iron all the time. It's so true. Hey, I wrote a book in 2017 called Find Your Lane. And the book was really about, hey, look, you can do a lot of these different things, and you may find success in some areas, and maybe not in other areas. You just got to find what works for you. You got to pull different things from different people, just kind of like a little bit about what you've talked about. And when I talk about find your lane, it's really about finding your purpose, your calling.
Hmm.
And okay, so you ran, you lost. You're like, hey, you know what? Let's make adjustments. Let's run again. We run again. We win. Okay, now I'm the mayor. Well, now I've been the mayor for quite a while.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Like, was there a moment, or were there moments maybe when you said, hey, I've got it down now. This is what I was hoping being the mayor was all about. I found like my purpose. I found my lane as the mayor. Was there a moment for that?
Yes, but it's yes and no, I guess is the more accurate
Okay.
answer. Yes, I found an area where I felt I can be most productive in my authentic self, meaning I I am one that if we're working towards an end, I'll work day and night to get there. But if we're just kind of superficially trying to make policy points and not really have a true effect. Like, I'm pragmatic to a fault. So we got to be doing something and
Mm,
working towards an end, solving a problem. But if we're just making noise, causing chaos, whatever, that's not my skill set, and that,
mm,
that short circuits me. And so I understood that about myself. And
mm,
then from a mayor standpoint, as far as advocating working with 6 people that I didn't pick to make decisions, no, that never gets normal. That just, there's, I mean,
mm.
those are contentious meetings every 2 weeks, and they will
Yeah.
be until I'm not there. But
Yeah.
that's something that doesn't get normal. But what does get normal, and where I did find exactly your question, my sweet spot was,
Yeah.
how can I be effective
Mm,
without having to go to these 6 people that I didn't pick? And so there's stuff you can just work with a city manager to get done: stop signs, speed issues,
mm,
park equipment,
mm,
those sort of things. So what I did was I bifurcated I have to go through this meeting process that I'm not crazy about. That's like my Amazon shopping wish list. Like, so I
mm,
need that contract for asphalt so that we can
mm,
fill potholes.
mm,
And so the asphalt contract takes a vote. Filling the potholes is a conversation with the city manager and the residents, and addressing problems. And
mm,
that fuels me. So that
mm.
that meeting is tough, but that reward of fixing problems in the city of Denton to make life easier for our residents and our taxpayers is just it supersedes all the issues that
Mm.
would come with getting there.
I love that. It takes great leadership. That's for sure. Whenever you're bringing people together, I'm curious. I like to ask this question to my guests on the show. If someone said, Mayor Hudspeth, what's leadership to you? How
Mm.
would you respond to that?
Leadership to me, being authentic, transparent in your decision making, and in your analysis. I think people can then adjust accordingly. But if you vacillate, uh,
Mm,
then that's where you get in trouble. But if people know where you are,
mm,
if I'm looking at a map and it says you are here, then
mm,
I can navigate from there. And also leadership is being mindful of what you don't know and others.
mm.
And so I put it this way, and my pastor friend touched on this. He said, "Eat the meat, spit out the bones." Everyone has value in there, right? Like there's value in every, there's some bones in there certainly. Don't need those, but there's a nugget, there's some meat on that bone somewhere that we can use. So if it's a person that sees the world different than me, and they're coming up, what I'm listening for, where's their meat? Yeah, there's some bones. Okay, there's a bone. Ah, that's a valid point. Let's get to work on that.
That's so good. And I like to ask that question because there is no one single definition for leadership. Everybody has something different. But I love what you said. I wrote down know where you are. I like when you said that, I immediately pictured the star on that map. Hey, I am here.
Yes.
And hey, this is where we're going. And
Hmm.
everybody knows what that
Yes.
looks like. I love all that. Do you, you mentioned earlier you meet with a group of leaders and you're addressing challenges and trying to make things better for all of the citizens. How do you, I don't know, and this, I was just kind of I gave you a few questions ahead of time, but I was just thinking about this. How do you bring people together? Like, cause there's got to be some tough conversations. There's got to be some challenges, some difficult conversations. How do you do that as a leader? How do you bring people together?
Yeah, I believe the key is diverse experiences, diverse worldview, diverse experiences, so that I can connect with people where they are
Mm,
and draw in a line to say, hey, we're all similar in this way. We all have this issue, this challenge. So, said a different way, I'll use music as an example.
okay.
If you want to talk about anything from Josh Groban to Slipknot, I'm right there with you. It's like, I mean, all the
Yeah.
things. If you're talking hip hop, you're talking, old school,
Mm,
hard rock, heavy metal, double kick drums, all those things. And so it serves me well when talking to people just to have those diverse experiences so that I can say, oh, yeah, no, I understand because
mm,
it starts with that connection. If I don't make that connection with someone, if they're not trusting that I understand what they're going through, they're
mm,
not going to understand. They're not going to really, they're going to say, well, you're making this recommendation, you're asking of this, but you don't know what you're asking. And so I think that connection to say, hey, I've been where you are. I've worked in fast food restaurants and worked in full service and went to UNT, went to NCTs. So and all these different components I picked up, and again, just observing,
mm,
watching. But I think
mm,
that really is the key to uniting people, or at least having a good, healthy discussion, irrespective of how the outcomes comes out. To pull people in, you have to, and you should see the shock on people's face when I talk
mm.
about a James Root, who's the guitar player for Slipknot, or how much I love Vinnie Paul, who's the drummer for Pantera. And I went to this Fish show, and so they're like, "You went to a Fish show?" I was like, "Yeah." And here's what happened, and you know, Lord of the Dance or whatever, like all these different things that
Yeah.
just kind of get a lot of different experiences, and it helps connect with people.
I love the way you set all that up. I hadn't really thought of it that way. And that's such a good analogy. And I was thinking, I've also seen you model the way because when I was at that North Texas Sherm Gala, I was watching you. You were over there. And when I thought about you when you left, I was like, man, he really values people. He really cares about people. I mean, you were over there talking to a student. You were over there talking to, an HR leader. You were over there talking to a spouse. You're over there talking, whoever it was. You just seemed very curious about people, and I just thought that was a really, really cool thing to watch. Hey, let me ask you this. What? Okay, so By the way, Denton, Texas. I've been here now in Denton County for over 30 years, and
Yes.
when we moved here, we moved. My wife went to school, went to work for the school in the Lake Dallas Independent School District, so just right up the road. And
Hmm.
so I've seen incredible things. I mean, think about it. You got a Bucky's. You got a Bucky's, man. But just all the incredible things going on in the city of Denton. I've watched the growth. It's been incredible. You got The Mean Green's now got a new stadium. Talk about, I don't know, talk about maybe some of the exciting things either that you've seen since you've been mayor or that you have kind of coming up. I'm curious.
Yeah, stuff that I've seen, and it's been a love-hate relationship, but we talked about when we came on, we talked about street construction, roads, those sort of things, infrastructure.
Mm,
Locust and Elm Street were terrible, and
mm,
so we've since gotten those things fixed. So from a kind of an infrastructure,
mm,
kind of better quality of life in the city of Denton, we've got a lot done
mm,
in those spaces. Then forward looking, it's encouraging to see Hillwood's landmark development taking shape, and so we'll have a new HEB by late to midsummer. We'll
oh,
have new houses coming online probably March. They'll be selling. They'll come out of the ground this month and then start selling in first of the year. And so that development is 3,000. It's their largest development, 3,200 acres, and it's our city of Denton's first master plan community. So
mm,
all navigating all those things will be huge. But also, you hear people talk about affordable housing a lot, and that's critical. But this fills another gap. We need high-end housing. So
mm-hmm,
you have the hospitals, the universities, and those sort of things, and you have to live within a certain proximity to the hospital. And we want CEOs, we want executives to then bring their businesses here. And so that level of housing will be, so the housing and landmark will be 400,000 up to million plus. And so that's a different type of new housing, especially at that scale for the city of Denton. But I think
mm.
it fits, it plugs a gap that we need. And so those things are exciting, forward looking, and the amenities, that sort of thing. Understanding cities have to, it's been difficult to add the amenities from a city standpoint. Our last recreation center in the city of Denton was 1988. And so
Oh,
it's a challenge from a budget standpoint to do it by yourself. So to have these kind of corporate partners and builders, Hillwood, the Cole family, some other folks like that to come in and help supplement and provide amenities here in the city are really important to have those partnerships.
yeah, this is so good. I would think you would also, as a mayor, I was thinking about a trait. You would probably have to have a little bit of patience too, wouldn't
Oh man, it's unbelievable. Hey, that government bureaucracy and and the pace of government is a real
you?
thing. I mean, it is just unbelievable. Everything costs more. Everything takes longer.
Yeah.
I say it this way. People say, "Oh, I want to work with the city." I was like, "Okay, are you sure?" And sign this waiver.
Oh my goodness, this is so good. I love that. Hey, I'm curious. There's somebody listening right now that I don't know. Maybe they're thinking about running for public office, in the future. They're like, hey, you know what? Maybe I can do something for my city. I don't know. Well, what kind of advice would you give to somebody like thinking about do it, kind of walking the path that you've walked?
Man, I would tell them it's so rewarding. You absolutely should do it, and it's absolutely going to be challenging as far
Mm,
as the experience and those things. But it's the community you're in really needs good people to step
mm,
up, volunteer, and serve in whatever capacity you're comfortable with. We just need those voices. We need those people at the table because there's someone's going to feel it, right?
mm,
And you want to make sure it's good people that have a heart for the city, have a heart for your community, and really want to come in and do things. And to your previous point, it's like you want to do things that you won't see the end of, right? The immediate thing
mm.
is rarely valuable as starting a process that will culminate in 3-4 years after you're no longer serving, but you can look back and say we got that ball rolling.
That's so good. Hey, and I'm curious, do you run for mayor each year? Like, how long do you want to be mayor or how long are you planning to be mayor? What's next for Mayor Hudspeth?
So every 2 years you run. So my
Okay.
path has been, like I said, we started in 17 as a
Okay.
council member, reelected 19, and then we switched and turned right back around that same year, 2020, the same next year, and ran for mayor. So been mayor since 2020,
Okay.
and that's when the pandemic hit and George Floyd protest and Winter Storm
Oh
Uri
my
and all
God.
those things hit right then. So we navigated that, and then 22 we were elected again, 24 elected again. So that's 5 years, and you only get six as mayor. You're term limited. And so
Okay.
this year in May, I roll off as mayor, can't run again. And so we're now running for to serve again, to continue to serve, opportunity to continue to serve as a county commissioner. So, which covers about 60% of the city of Denton. So I can still be active in that
Mm.
precinct four commissioner seat and still help my city if we're successful.
I love that. That's fantastic. Well, I think you're going to have a successful run. And I've really enjoyed visiting with you and learning more about you and your leadership. This has been so good. I always like to ask this question to my guests. If you like, have you, I mean, you've given some great advice today, but
Sure.
do you find yourself like you've been given some good advice? It might have been from your parents. It might have been from just your, going through your career, but it was just so good. You just find yourself sharing that with others.
Yeah, no, because we're all, I mean, it's difficult out there, no matter what you're
Mm,
doing. From a kid, I have a 9-year-old, have 15-year-old, have two adult kiddos. I mean, and boys, girls, whatever. It
yeah.
is difficult out there. Everything's captured online. There's just life is a pressure cooker. And so the more I can kind of and help people, one, hey, where are you trying to go? Who do you want to meet? Let's help facilitate best we can. But then also let people know we're all struggling the same and kind of take that pressure down. You because
Mm,
if I look at somebody on one Instagram post, one snapshot, looks like everything's great, and that's a
yeah.
lot of pressure unless I realize that's one snapshot, one moment in time, and
Yeah.
there's a bigger picture behind that.
Yeah. That's so good. I heard you mention the Mean Green. You graduated from North Texas?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. How
Go Mean
about
Green.
how about that football team this year?
Oh man, all the way around, amazing. We're truly blessed between NCTC, the junior college, and careers, and they have CDL training. They're doing all those things, and
Ah,
TWU is training pilots.
yeah.
UNT is doing amazing things, and TWU has a national gymnast class and basketball team that's doing amazing things. So yeah, truly blessed
Uh,
here to have all these great universities. But yeah, UNT's football run is unrivaled. Really a great year.
Yeah, I have two sons that graduated from University of North Texas, so we know it very well, and so we were really, really proud of the season they had, and just everything they're doing is just fantastic. I've got to speak at the college. I've got to speak also over at TWU as well. Both of them have student SHRM chapters, and I've been able to go over there and share perspective. It's been a lot of fun. Hey, I want to kind of wrap this up and with a fun segment. It's called "It's Time to Accelerate," and I'm going to ask you a few fun questions. And I was thinking about this when I was thinking, man, what's one good question I can ask the mayor? And the first thing that came to mind was food.
Love it.
And so I was thinking, I wonder if he has any favorite places he likes to eat. Any favorites?
Yes, I like so lots, right? But I can't name them all. But I'll start with Hannah's off the square.
Oh,
It's a more upscale. They're closed on Mondays, but I was recently reminded of that. Got there and they weren't open. But but it's great. It took my, and so it's and they have their own parking lot, which is awesome.
yeah.
Because if I'm meeting someone, it's easy. Like, hey, they have a parking lot. You can park
Mm,
there, come right in. No hunting for parking spaces. But that I like them a lot. I like Boca Feliz.
mhm.
They're in the mall there, and they have a
Mm,
brick and mortar location down by the square and amazing entrepreneurial story, testimony, that sort of thing. So
mm,
I love supporting them. They do great work. And then I'll say, lastly, because this is my pattern, I'll go to a city council meeting. I'll need a quick bite before we get started at 2, and so I'll go to Ambrose. It's a little real quick right there, and so they have a taco shop there.
oh,
Really great food, and again, it's right across from City Hall, so I can dart across the street,
I love
grab a
that.
burrito, and hustle back and start on time.
I love that, man. I love I'm gonna have to check out Ambrose. I've not been over there. One of our favorites, we'd like to get a good burger over at it used to be called the Denton County Hamburger, and now it's called the County Road Burger.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, they do great work. That's
yeah.
a that's
Oh, oh,
man,
they're
it's
great.
fantastic. Oh, you can eat fries and beans. Oh,
Yeah.
what do I sign?
Exactly. And of course the I mentioned North Texas Term earlier. We had the 50th anniversary of the chapter on top of in the pavilion at the LSA Burger
Oh,
on the
yes,
on the
yeah.
patio. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, they're great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the square. My wife and I just love going down the square. It's awesome. Hey, let me ask you this. You're a continuous learner. You're always looking for ways to learn. What's something you'd like to learn?
I hope to, at some point when things settle, go to law school and learn to practice a law. I've worked in the
Hmm.
legal industry as a paralegal and some other stuff, so I want to go back and get my 4 year, I mean my JD degree from
Oh,
either probably UNT law, but that's a goal.
I
I
love
want to learn
that.
the ins and outs of that practice.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that story. We'll have to have you on the show. We'll talk about that. Man, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Hey, we're in this season, like the holiday season, and I always like to ask about gratitude. I think great leaders or seem to all be grateful leaders. What are you grateful for?
Man, I am grateful for family. I truly am a homebody. I love it.
Mm,
I go to a lot of things. I'm very active, but at the end of the day, to recharge, to just sit in the living room and hang out with the kids, or have the kids come in
yeah.
intermittently and just hang out. That to me, there's nothing better than just family time, extended family, immediate family,
Mm,
in-laws. I mean, if it's family oriented and just sitting there hanging, watching football, whatever, I'm in.
yeah. You give me
Yeah.
chills, man, when you start talking about like just family, football, faith. I just love it all and just being able to come together and just enjoy, the blessings of life. And
Yes.
that's so good. Oh my goodness. Okay, here's my last question, Mayor. And I've asked this to over 240 guests. And so here's the question. Gerard, 10 years older, is around the corner and he's knocking at your door. You're going to go answer that door. What's he going to tell you?
So he's going to say that we've had a good run in the political space. We're rounding down. We're gonna try to stay active that way.
Hmm.
And he's going to say thank you for investing in the people in the future, because it made things easier. And because that is truly, man, I visit elementary schools, middle schools, high
Mm.
schools, colleges at every turn, for any reason, and the future just generally is very bright.
Hmm. That's a wise 10 years older Mayor Hudspeth. Thank you so much for being on the show. I wrote down two words, people investor. And
Yeah.
that's what you
Oh,
do. You
wow.
invest in people. And I love that. And this has been so much fun. I appreciate you coming on the show, just sharing perspective. I learned a lot today. I know there's some listeners that learned a lot as well. Hey, there may be somebody listening today and they're like, hey, I want to follow Mayor Hudspeth, or I want to connect with him, or I want to know more about Freeit data. What's the best way for someone to connect with you?
Yeah, so thank you. And again, before I forget, so thank you very much for having me. I'm truly humbled that you would take some time to hang out with me. I truly enjoyed getting to know you, and we'll talk a number of times after this. But for me, the easiest way is, so for, Facebook is kind of my most active. So either Gerard Hudspeth, the personal page, or Gerard for Denton, FOR Denton, is the political side of things. So those two are kind of most active. And then certainly in the business community, LinkedIn, I'm there,
Mm.
just Gerard Hudspeth, and very active there. And I try to mix it up. It's certainly free at stuff, technology stuff, but then it's also just everyday stuff. You can go in there and find what I think to be the greatest coffee commercial on the planet. I posted it about probably 4 months ago, and it is amazing, man. That work and that commercial is next level.
Okay, I got to go check this out because I'm a coffee guy, man. I am
Oh,
coffee, 5 a.m. I got my coffee. I'm ready to go. So when you said that, I was like, I'm writing down coffee commercial.
yeah, it's amazing.
It is so good, man. I love your energy. I love being around you, and I cannot wait to see what's ahead. So again, thanks for coming on the show today. I cannot wait to share the episode and watch your journey continue. I appreciate you, my friend.
Thank you very much. Likewise. Thank you.
Awesome. I'll talk to you later.